all the pay is amazing, but ER nurses fill a role. And I feel like oftentimes people who are inundated with the system maybe don't think about it, but you guys literally stabilize and save people's lives, which cannot be overstated how much of a wonderful contribution every medical staff, and even you specifically personally, I'm not going to do one of my big heartfelt speeches I always do, but you guys make a difference, and I'm really glad to have been able to help you go make a difference elsewhere, live your dreams, and make money doing it.
My name's Kenny, and I'm an ER nurse, and I've been traveling for 6 months now, going into my 6 months.
And I'm John Faist. I am a recruiter. I'm Kenny's recruiter at Atlas, and I got him started on his travel journey. It was a cold call, I believe. I got Kenny on the phone. He told me he was interested, but that he didn't quite have the experience yet. But I decided, anybody who's worth talking to, anybody who would talk to me the way that he did, be open and communicative and honest about it, who was interested, I was willing to work with.
Our first contact was like in May, and we planned on, talked about maybe getting me placed that fall, and then all of a sudden out of the blue I get a call from John the very next month. He's like, "Hey dude, they got this thing in California," and me thinking, California sounds great, I'm interested, and here we are, the rest is history. So this is my first contract, and I never planned on being here for 6 months, so I can't speak to every contract, but one of the things I noticed was, and it's obvious, right? If you think about it, every hospital has different policies, there's a different culture, there's a different feel, and you've got to assimilate. You gotta figure that out whenever you get here. So that's hard. And of course, being away from home is hard.
What about some pros?
Some pros. I mean, the pros far outweigh the cons, right? Everybody talks about the travel money, and that is for sure nice. But I mean, I have gotten to do, I've kind of used Cedarville as my home base, and I've gone to the Oregon coast. I went and saw Lizzo in Portland. I've been to San Francisco. I flew out of LA to go to Hawaii. Reno, I've been to Reno several times because that's where the airport is. I've gotten to see so much, and traveling is actually my passion. It's my first passion. Nursing's a close second, but traveling's it. So I've gotten to do a lot of that.
And that was something we talked about pretty early on too. This was about the experience and adventure, and in many ways, right? The travel money is great. It's great for paying off student loans, obviously, things like that.
Yeah.
But it enables the lifestyle that you want to live, right? And getting to hear about those adventures from you has been one of the, honest to God, most heartwarming and wonderful highlights of being a small part of the adventures,
Yeah, absolutely. Whenever I decided to go to nursing school, travel nurse, I knew was my end goal because I love traveling. So it was always my plan, and John made it happen. My first thought is that's okay. Traveling's not for everyone. I know several of my nurse friends are just terrified of the thought. They want to know, they want to be super comfortable where they are. They want to know the policies and the procedures to a T, and they want to know exactly what to expect every single day. And that's completely okay. So if it's not for you, it's not for you, and don't force it. But I also think that if you're thinking about it, just do it. Because I remember when John called me with this unexpected offer, I was envisioning traveling, 2 or 3 months down the road, and just the time didn't feel right. From phone call to me leaving was, 3 weeks, I think, and it was terrifying. So, but I also decided the time's probably never going to feel exactly right. So I think that if you're thinking about it, just do it. Just take the leap, because you'll never know if you don't try. I think John mentioned, I didn't, whenever I became a travel nurse, it was pretty competitive right then, right? I didn't have as much experience as some others, I'm sure. And John didn't blow me off. He was like, well, hey, let's get your profile started. Let's get your name. Let's let's at least start your profile and we'll go from there. And so many other recruiters were just like, oh, you haven't been a nurse for, ever? Then I'm not interested. So John's definitely the reason I initially went with Atlas before I knew anything about Atlas. But now that I've learned more, I mean, like they keep sending me gifts. Like I got my Atlas hoodie on. I got my Atlas backpack. I got my speaker for Christmas. Like they keep their travelers happy. And then also the culture, you see all the fun videos that you guys put out and it feels like a good fit.
Yeah, I'll say that from my perspective, Kenny is exactly the type of perfect traveler kind of for Atlas, because many times people, like he said, are terrified. And what I think I tried to do for him was just make it as easy as possible. And I mean, he's still with me. He's not annoyed enough with me yet to tell me that he wants a different recruiter. So I'm just glad that you've been able to do everything you've wanted to do, man. I'm really proud of you.
Yeah. Well, thank you.